বাংলাদেশ যখন স্বাধীন হয় তখন আজকের রাশিয়ার নাম ছিল ইউনিয়ন অব সোভিয়েত সোশ্যালিস্ট রিপাবলিক। দেশটির সাথে স্বাধীন বাংলাদেশের কূটনৈতিক সম্পর্কের আনুষ্ঠানিক শুরু ১৯৭২ সালের ২৫শে জানুয়ারি। যদিও স্বাধীনতা যুদ্ধে বাংলাদেশের অন্যতম বড় সমর্থক ছিল সোভিয়েত ইউনিয়ন। ১৯৭১-এর নভেম্বরে পাকিস্তান সরকারকে যুদ্ধের বিষয়ে হুঁশিয়ারি দিয়েছিলেন তৎকালীন পশ্চিম পাকিস্তানে নিযুক্ত সোভিয়েত রাষ্ট্রদূত অ্যালেক্সেই রোদিওনভ। একেই ঐতিহাসিক রোদিওনভ মেসেজ বলা হয়। কিন্তু যুদ্ধ চলার সময় ডিসেম্বরের ৬ ও ১৩ তারিখ ভ্লাদিভস্তক থেকে ভারত মহাসাগরে দুটি ক্রুজ ও ডেস্ট্রয়ার পাঠায় মস্কো। এরপর ডিসেম্বরের ১৮ তারিখ থেকে ৭২ সালের জানুয়ারির ৭ তারিখ পর্যন্ত বাংলাদেশের পক্ষে ভারত মহাসাগরে মোতায়েন ছিল সোভিয়েত ব্যালিস্টিক মিসাইল সাবমেরিন। ১৯৭২-এর মার্চে সোভিয়েত সফর করেন বাংলাদেশের নতুন প্রধানমন্ত্রী শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান। মূলত মুক্তিযুদ্ধ এবং যুদ্ধ পরবর্তী সময়ে বাংলাদেশের পাশে থাকার জন্য সোভিয়েত সরকারকে ধন্যবাদ ও কৃতজ্ঞতা প্রকাশের জন্যই ছিল সেই সফর। সে সময় তিনি রুশ প্রধানমন্ত্রী অ্যালেক্সেই কোসিগিন এবং সোভিয়েত কমিউনিস্ট পার্টির সেক্রেটারি জেনারেল লিওনিভ ব্রেজনেভকে ডুবন্ত জাহাজ উদ্ধার ও মাইন অপসারণে সহযোগিতার জন্য অনুরোধ করেন। বঙ্গবন্ধুর অনুরোধে ১৯৭২ সালের ২১শে মার্চ ৯ সদস্যের সোভিয়েত প্রতিনিধি দল ঢাকায় আসে। ৩৪ ঘণ্টার দীর্ঘ আলোচনার পর হয় চুক্তি, আর মাইন অপসারণের জন্য চট্টগ্রাম ও চালনা বন্দরে ভাসমান ওয়ার্কশপ বোট পাঠায় সোভিয়েত নেভি। সে সময় মাইন বিস্ফোরণে সোভিয়েত মেরিন ইউরি রেদকিন প্রাণ হারান। এরপর বাংলাদেশের নতুন বিমান বাহিনীর জন্য ১০টি ১ আসনের মিক-১ গুরেভিচ মিগ-২১ MFS, দুটি ২ আসনের মিক-১ গুরেভিচ মিগ-২১ UMS যুদ্ধবিমান উপহার পাঠায় সোভিয়েত সরকার। ১৯৭৫-এর পর জিয়া এবং পরে এরশাদ সরকারের আমলে চির ধরে রাশিয়ার সঙ্গে বন্ধুত্বে। কিন্তু প্রধানমন্ত্রী শেখ হাসিনার নেতৃত্বে আওয়ামী লীগ সরকার গঠনের পর নতুন মাত্রা পায় এই বন্ধুত্ব। সেই বন্ধুত্বের কল্যাণে এখন পারমাণবিক জ্বালানির যুগে বাংলাদেশ বেড়েছে প্রতিরক্ষা খাতের সহযোগিতাও। রাশিয়ার সাথে বাংলাদেশের যে বন্ধুত্বের ইতিহাস সেটি আমরা জানলাম। আমরা এখন কথা বলতে এসেছি বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত রুশ রাষ্ট্রদূত আলেকসান্ডার মন্টেস্কির সঙ্গে। হ্যালো, Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador. You are working with this government for so long, and from your point of view, how will you define Sheikh Hasina's leadership here?
Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me to speak on your television and before your audience. Well, you're asking a very hard question. It's the people should define what is done by the government of Sheikh Hasina, and especially before the elections. But just my own experience. I have been here almost 2.5 years. And even around our building here of our premises, I can see a lot of construction work is going on. Especially buildings are growing. Then everybody knows about these projects, the my projects which were constructed here, bridges, tunnels. From this point of view, you can see that the country is developing. Of course, it is very important to understand that your country is progressing, and you have made rapid progress, and it's a path to graduation from the least developing countries in category by 2026. But nevertheless, we are very glad that the Russian Federation also is participation in economic development of your country. And of course, we will continue to do it.
If we take Bangladesh and Russia as a case study, what do you think how a long-term government can ensure development process of a country?
Once again, it much depends upon the government itself, whether it has capable people to work on. Sometimes we can see that the change of governments leads to change of programs, some other priorities, and so on and so on. But I can judge also from our situation. The Russian Federation till 2000 or even 2004, there were problems in our economy. But after the President Putin has come to power, we can see a rapid development of our country. It much depends not only of him, you should understand, or about from Sheikh Hasina. It depends upon the people who are working with them about the plans and so on and so on. So such type of long-standing programs, they do benefit the countries. We should understand that sometimes people are tired. They would like to have the changes. They think that it will be much more better. Opposition parties, even in Russia or in Bangladesh, or even we can take, for example, a recent example of Argentina. They are taking this advantage, and they put forward some populist ideas. Whether they will work or not, it's very difficult to say. The history will show. This is the matter. But in our case, and the case of Bangladesh, it seems that they have long-standing plans to develop. They are doing much more better.
In this case, if we talk about a government process and the people's will about the government process, if we consider the Geneva Convention, do you think U.S. Embassy in Dhaka is crossing norms and the boundaries?
Let me draw your attention to the statement which was made by our spokeswoman Maria Zakharova, Minister of Foreign Affairs, I mean, of the Russian Federation, on November 22nd. It's self-explaining. I just read it, not to distort the words which were told by her. In her statement, she gave a detailed report on the subject of your interest. In particular, she mentioned that in late October, U.S. Ambassador to Bangladesh, Peter Haas, met with a high-ranking representative of local opposition. Reportedly, they discussed plans to organize mass anti-government protests in the country. The American ambassador promised his counterpart to provide information support in this case, the authorities used force against peaceful demonstrators. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that 10 years ago, we witnessed a similar scenario that unfortunately worked. It was in Ukraine. We remember how Victoria Nuland, at that time U.S. Secretary and senior undersecretary of state for political affairs. She is now she holds the same position. Handed out for free food, leaflets, T-shirts, scarves, and flags to the people of Kiev. So they stayed in the streets. At that time, it was by Western countries. It was this protest was labeled as legal, but later it seems it was a coup d'état because it has the whole situation in Ukraine and brought it to the problem which Ukraine is facing now.
The Soviet Union was an ally since Bangladesh's liberation.
Yeah.
Where do you see the relationship now?
It's a very interesting question. Once again, I would like to thank the people of Bangladesh that they do have good memories of what was done by the then Soviet Union during your liberation war. You know that our side used 3 vetoes in the UN Security Council. It seems nobody knows how long it would take your country to reach your independence, first of all, and whether it would be successful. This is the matter. But nevertheless, we have a long-standing friendship. Its foundation is from 1971. Then when we supported the struggle of your people for independence and provided economic assistance. In January 1972, our country was almost the first among three. It was first of all Bhutan, then India, and then the Soviet Union to recognize you diplomatically. Then in March 1972, Mujibur Rahman visited the Russian Federation and also laid the foundation for economic cooperation between our two countries. Since then, our relations have always been built on principles of equality, mutual respect, and consideration of each other's interests. So we do not interfere in internal affairs of our countries. We respect international law. We also reject interference. And we have similar approaches to many contemporary global and regional issues and problems. Speaking about economic development and trade, I can say that in 2021, our trade volume reached almost the record level. It was around $3 billion. Bangladesh is the second largest trade partner in South Asia after India with Russia. Unfortunately, after the sanctions which were introduced by Western illegal, please underline, illegal Western sanctions introduced by the United States and the Western countries, the volume of our trade reduced a little bit. But nevertheless, it was 2.3, almost $2.4 billion. Now, this year, we hope that the trade will recover and the volume at least will reach $3 billion. We have very good cooperation here in energy field, first of all in gas. Starting from 2012, our company Gazprom International is working, drilling wells. Since that, they drilled 20 wells. Last May, it was declared that Elisha 1, it is on the well. It is on Bangla Islands. Has a very good resource of gas. It is around 20, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. Yes, 20 million cubic feet per day. Our proposal is to continue such type of cooperation. It is now under consideration of your government. Negotiations are going on. I hope that it will continue. Our company, Ruskim Alliance, is ready to supply 1 million tons of LNG annually, but starting from 2027. We put forward such type of proposal. I hope that negotiations will start soon.
You referred to RUR Power Plant. It is done. Do you have any further plan for any major projects here in future, like RUR Power Plant?
You know that on October 5th this year, there was a ceremony marking the delivery of fresh nuclear fuel to RUR nuclear power plants, and it was done virtually in the presence of our President, Mr. Putin, and your Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina. It's a flagship project, and of course it will be good for energy security. If I'm mistaken, your Minister of Science and Technology, Mr. Osman, just mentioned that completion of this project will add to your GNP 2%. It's very big volume amount. It is good for economic development, it's good for energy security, but you should not forget that it is also a project which gives your people to get the knowledge based of add the knowledge of nuclear energy or nuclear construction, so on and so on. Because we almost maybe 80 or more people have completed their education in Moscow at the level of master and the bachelor degree, how to build nuclear plants. I tell you frankly that it will be done by both sides, by the Russian team and your team all together. And I hope sooner or later your team will do the rest. We have the plans, your government has the plan to construct a research reactor. It will be beneficial not only in energy, into agriculture, some other areas of cooperation. So such type of plans we do have.
Besides this RUR Power Plant, how Russia can help Bangladesh in space research?
There is no problem for us because you know that the Russia is I can say the most developed country in this field. In February 2022, two our Russian companies, a joint stock company, Glove Cosmos, and your company, Bangladesh Satellite Company Limited, signed a memorandum of cooperation in the field of promotion of products and services of the Russian space industry in Bangladesh, including manufacturing of Bandhu 2 satellite. So technical discussions are completed. We put forward some financial ideas. So it's now under consideration of your government.
Since Bangladesh is a densely populated country, do you have any plan for taking workers from Bangladesh?
I can say that we have also developed such type of cooperation. In June this year, the first batch of Bangladeshis specialists, good trained specialists, left for Russia to work in shipbuilding and construction industries in far east of our country. Of course, we are interested to employ Bangladeshi workers in such type of areas and as agriculture, construction, hospitality, and etc. But certain requirements should be completed. First of all, some agreements should be signed. For example, bilateral agreement on readmission, intergovernment agreement on readmission and its implementation protocol. Unfortunately, starting from 2011, there is no definite reply from your government. Almost 12 years have passed. As soon as these documents will be signed, of course, the number of people, Bangladeshis people going from here to Russia will increase manifolds.
Rohingya repatriation, the problem Bangladesh is facing now mostly. Why Russia was restrained from voting against Myanmar in the UN Security Council, and what is Russia's stand on Rohingya repatriation?
I would like to reaffirm our approach that we are for constructive dialogue with all stakeholders in order to work out the best ways of international assistance to your country and to Myanmar, by the way, to repatriate these people. We do favor non-controversial approaches in discussing the return of refugees who received temporary shelter in Bangladesh. Direct dialogue between Dhaka and Naypyidaw, in our view, is key in resolving this issue. We think that international community should not hinder the process of repatriation and to respect the sovereignty of both countries. It's our position. That's why when some countries do blame Myanmar for the problems created in Rakhine state, then we do not support this. We are not voting against, but we abstain.
What is Russia's stand on U.S. strategy in Indo Pacific region?
Indian and Pacific Oceans should not be an arena of rivalry, but a zone of cooperation between states within a framework of such regional structures as IORA, SARC, BIMSTEX, or ASEAN. These are the matter, first of all. We see, unfortunately, persistent attempts of extra powers to come to this region and to reform the existing order to fulfill their narrow, selfish interest objectives. The concept of free and open Indo-Pacific region promoted by the United States has destructive rather than unifying potential. Its goal is to divide the states, not to unite. We also have noticed some plans to form a new trilateral political military partnership between the United States, Japan, and South Korea, with a view to boost confrontation with China, Russia, and Democratic People's Republic of Korea. So, of course, it can lead to arms race in the Asian Pacific region. Who will be benefited? We know it will be United States military-industrial complex, which is bloated by military budgets even now, especially the events in Ukraine and in Gaza.
Ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. The whole world, we are seeing, is suffering for any kind of war. Why it cannot be called an invasion, and what's the plan when the war will be stopped?
We do not call it a war, we call it a special military operation, first of all. November 21 this year marked 10 years since the beginning of anti-government protests in the center of Kiev, the so-called Euromaidan. It was November 2013 till February 2014. As I told previously, it was presented by Western international community as some democratic process. At the end, it was a coup d'etat. Because this coup d'etat was financed by Western countries, and on April 13, 2014, the National Security Council of Ukraine decided to launch an anti-terrorist operation in Donbass. An interim head of the state of Ukraine at the time, Turchinov, ordered to start using armed forces against their own people for this purpose. So, since April 2014, formations have been waging war in Donbass. Of course, it was not recognized. There was a referendum held by Kiev, not by Crimea, and people decided to join the Russian Federation. It was illegitimate. Another example, double standards. Kosovo declared its independence upon Serbia, and it was recognized by Western countries, but there was any referendum held by the people regarding this. So you can see now double standards of your Western partners, not our partners now. Well, so there were so many efforts made to stop that war, which was started in 2014. In September 2014, our President Putin took the initiative to stabilize the situation in Donbass. Later, Minsk agreements were signed, and the package of the implementation aimed at ceasefire. There was a claim of Mr. Zelensky that Ukraine would like to possess nuclear weapons. It was done in Munich Security Conference in February 2022. What should our country to do? Because it was a direct threat to us. That's why in February, 21st of February 2024, the Russian Federation recognized Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republics, and then later on 24th of February, we started our special military operation. We call it special military operation. We are ready to sit at the table of negotiation, but the matter is that Ukraine parliament, they passed a law at the behest of, at the request of Mr. Zelensky, prohibiting to have any negotiations with the Russian side. So who is to be blamed? This is the question you should understand. But we have conditions. This is the matter. We do not want to sit and just to sign any other Minsk agreement, which will not be fulfilled. It will give some time for Ukraine forces to be supplied with modern weapons, to take advantage of this position, and so on and so on. It will be done sooner or later. I mean, Russia will win.
Another war is going on in the world now, that is Israel's invasion in Gaza. What is your opinion about it? And you are supporting Israel and violation of human rights there.
We have similar position with your country. First of all, these atrocities which were committed by both sides are not acceptable. We should understand, and they should be stopped. First of all, once again, this is example of double standards. So much talks about atrocities committed by the Russian Federation. But can you see the statements of Western countries, of their leaders or ambassadors here, what they are saying? And yet they are mum. Why? They are supporting such type of acts committed by Israeli forces. Position our is clear. It's the same as it is of your country, that two states, the resolution of United States regarding the establishment of two states, Palestine and Israel, should be fulfilled.
Bangladesh and Russia have celebrated 50 years of friendship recently.
Yeah.
Where do you see this friendship and this relationship in next 50 years?
Of course, it's very difficult to predict. I can say that we will continue our cooperation. Of course, it will be cooperation in the energy and food security. Of course, we will have such type of areas of cooperation as IT sector, maybe agriculture, then biotechnology, chemistry, and so on and so on. We have so many areas, but now it's very difficult to say. We should be pragmatic and realistic.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador, for joining us. দর্শক, কথা হচ্ছিল বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত রুশ রাষ্ট্রদূত আলেকসান্ডার মান্তিৎস্কির সঙ্গে। তিনি আমাদের সঙ্গে কথা বলছিলেন বাংলাদেশ এবং রাশিয়ার মধ্যকার যে 50 বছরের বন্ধুত্ব এবং পরবর্তী 50 বছরেও যেন এই বন্ধুত্ব অটুট থাকে, সেই আশাবাদ তিনি আমাদেরকে ব্যক্ত করলেন এবং পুরোটা সময় আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবার জন্য আপনাদেরকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ।